let's see the next part, that is types of egg membranes. Okay, first we will see types of egg membrane. Types of egg membranes. Okay, so there are three types of egg membrane: primary membrane, then secondary membrane, and third one, that is tertiary membrane. Okay. Now primary membrane is which one? It is the eggs or secondary oocytes own membrane, that is known as primary membrane. So we can call it as the membrane which is secreted or formed by egg or ova. Okay, formed by egg. Okay, that is known as primary membrane. So example is your vitelline membrane. You can call it as a cell membrane, okay, or ulema. Fine, both are same. So primary membrane formed by egg cell. Secondary membrane means the membrane which is secreted, okay, or a layer which is secreted by follicular cells. Fine, secreted by follicular cells. Layer secreted by follicular cells. Okay. Now, which layers are secreted by follicular cells? Two layers: zona pellucida, as well as corona radiata. Fine. Here we will not consider membrane, cell membrane, all coverings of egg. They are commonly known as egg membranes. Fine. From that one, that is its own membrane. Second one, these are secondary membranes. The secondary membranes, they are secreted or formed by follicular cells. Now you will ask one question, that is corona radiata. It is formed by granulosa cells. Now obviously these granulosa cells, these are nothing but differentiated follicular cells only. So secondary membrane includes membrane secreted by follicular cells, and tertiary membrane, they are formed or secreted by different glands or oviduct. Okay, secreted by glands or oviduct. Its example is shell. Okay. As in case of human, eggs are non-cladoid. So human eggs, they don't have tertiary membrane present in birds, okay, amphibians, or in all shelled animals where they lay the shelled eggs. So their shell, it is secreted by glands, or it is a secretion of glands or oviduct. Right? These are the types of membranes in egg cell. In human, tertiary membrane is absent. Fine. Now we will see types of egg based on amount of yolk. Okay, so these are types of egg membranes. Now we will see types of eggs based on amount of yolk present in egg. Okay, types of eggs. Okay, first criteria we will use on the basis of amount of yolk. On the basis of amount of yolk. Okay, there are 4 types of eggs on the basis of amount of yolk. First one, lecithin. Okay, lecithin, microlecithin, lecithin egg, microlecithin egg. Third one, mesolecithal, and fourth one macro or megalecythal. Macro or megalecythal eggs. These types, they are based on amount of yolk. Now let's the first one. Alecithal means yolk is absent. Okay, yolk is absent. Okay, so in case of alecithal eggs, yolk is absent. Example, humans, human egg. Okay, in human egg, yolk is absent. Right? Microlecithal, very small amount of yolk. Very small amount of yolk is present. Example, sea urchin, brachiostoma, sea urchin, brachiostoma. Mesolecithal, large amount of yolk. Okay, or you can say moderate amount of yolk. Moderate amount of yolk. Example, egg of amphibia, eggs of amphibia. Then petromyzone, lungfishes. Okay, and macro or megalecythal, large quantity of yolk. Eggs with large quantities. Large quantity of yolk. So in birds and reptiles. So egg of bird and reptiles. Fine. So these are 4 types of eggs based on amount of yolk. Alecithal, microlecithal, okay, mesolecithal, and macro or megalecythal. Fine. Now next we will see types of eggs based on distribution of yolk within a cell. Right? Types of eggs based on distribution of yolk. Okay. So on the basis of, and right here, on the basis of distribution, on the basis of distribution of yolk. Okay, means how it is distributed throughout the egg cell. First one, isolecithal or homolecithal. Isolecithal or homolecithal. Second one, heterolecithal. Heterolecithal. Third one, telolecithal. Telolecithal. Centrolecithal. Centrolecithal. And fifth one, discoidal. Okay, there are 5 types of eggs based on distribution of yolk. Okay, first one, iso or homo, from name only we recognize yolk, it is evenly distributed. Okay, so isolecithal yolk is evenly distributed, evenly or homogeneously distributed. Distributed all over ooplasm. All over the ooplasm. Its example include protochordates, okay, echinoderms. Okay, example includes protochordates, echinoderms. Okay, next one, heteroleucithal. Okay, it is unevenly distributed. Okay, unevenly distributed. Then teloleucithal yolk, it is present toward one side, only the half part of the egg cell. Okay, teloleucithal yolk is concentrated. Yolk is concentrated in one half part. Yolk is concentrated in one half part of the egg cell. Okay, example, amphibian's egg. Amphibian's egg. Okay, then centroleucithal. In that yolk, it is centrally concentrated, whereas cytoplasm is peripheral. Yolk is centrally concentrated, whereas cytoplasm is peripheral. Cytoplasm is peripheral. Okay, example, insects. Right? So the insect type of egg, it is centroleucithal, and discoidal, almost whole egg it is occupied by yolk cell except a very small place. Okay, discoidal, whole egg, or we can write almost whole egg. Almost whole egg is occupied by yolk except a small disc. Okay, except a small disc, okay, of active ooplasm. Of active ooplasm. Okay. So in case of discoidal, almost whole egg, it is filled or occupied by the yolk cell. Only at the one side, very small amount of ooplasm remain. Okay, or active disc of active ooplasm. Its example, it is egg of amphibians and birds. Eggs of amphibians and birds. Fine. So these are types of eggs based on distribution of yolk. Isoleucithal or homoleucithal, heteroleucithal, teloleucithal, centroleucithal or discoidal. What is yolk? One question I forgot in between in the process of oogenesis. I gave the reference of yolk. Okay, so yolk, it is a proteinaceous material which is secreted by a process that is known as vitellogenesis. Okay, in case of humans it is not so much prominent, but if you say in insects, in birds, in amphibians, it is so prominent because as they produce shelled egg, the nutrition which is required by developing embryo throughout the growth, that is stored in this yolk. Okay, so yolk, it is a nutritive part that is formed during process of vitellogenesis. It takes place during process of oogenesis only. At that time only reserve food it is formed. So that process, it is known as vitellogenesis. Fine. Now these are the types of eggs based on distribution of yolk. The third criteria we will see, that is types of eggs based on presence or absence of shell, that already I discussed. These are your cladoic eggs and non-cladoic eggs. Okay, cladoidal or non-cladoidal. on the basis of presence or absence of shell. Okay, so two types, cladoic, non-cladoic. Okay, so cladoic eggs means with shell. These eggs, they are covered by a tertiary membrane, that is shell, so with shell. And non-cladoic means without shell. Okay, non-cladoic means these are the eggs without shell. So with shell, many examples you can mention, or better well, right? Egg is surrounded by hard shell. Okay, so its example: reptiles, birds, insects, and all oviparous animal. Prototherians also. In short, all oviparous. Fine, huh? And non-cladoic means eggshell, or egg, it is not surrounded by hard shell. So example, okay, all viviparous animals. Okay, and some amphibians which lay eggs in water. Some amphibians laying eggs in water. Some amphibians laying eggs in water. Fine. So these are types of egg cell. Based on that, question can come mostly related to types of eggs based on amount of yolk and the distribution of yolk sac. So those points, those types along with their examples you have to remember. Fine. So these are types of eggs. Fine. In the next class we will study the process of fertilization. Fine. I hope you have understood up to this. So in the next class we will study process of fertilization.